If you find yourself fumbling and guessing where the notes are on the fretboard, then in this lesson I'll show you what I call the -5 and the +7 trick that will make guitar note finding much faster all over the neck. Now here is the fundamental thing you need to know, guys, and this is that the same note exists in multiple places on all 6 strings. And this is one of the things that trips a lot of beginners and even intermediate and advanced players up. So the idea of this lesson is to show you a cool little trick that will enable you to find the same note on adjacent strings. The first one we're going to do, this is the -5 trick. First things first though, what I want to do is I want to put a little meridian in here in the 4th fret. We have to be careful here because you're going to see why in a minute as I go through this and show you. If I take a note on a thick E string and I want to move down another string, so I've gone from a thicker string to a thinner string, it can be tricky to just memorize exactly where it is. So we use this -5 subtraction method to find this next note. So if we take this B here, instead of thinking to ourselves, well, you know, it's somewhere on the A string, what we do is we subtract 5 from the fret we are at. And this is the whole of the thing. So you subtract 5 and then you go down onto your next string. And this way we can do a little sum in our head to be able to find where the note's going to be and kind of almost get a preview of where it's going to be. So this is 7. So if we look at fret 7 and we -5, that's going to give us 2. And if we look here, you can see at the 2nd fret on the A string, we indeed do get the same note again. So there is a B to a B. Now, this is going to apply across any of these other notes here. So if I look at this D here, for instance, this note D is at the 10th fret. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take 5 away from the 10. And that puts us on 5. And you can see on fret 5 on the next string that we get the D again. So it's just this thing of just taking away 5. Now, does this work all the way along, Ricky? Yes, it does. So let's pick on another note. Let's look at this F here. This is on fret 8. So let me just put that in there. That's fret 8. If we look at that F and we think 8 minus 5 is 3. Is it on the 3rd fret on the next string down? Yes, there it is. And you can see that we get our B's and our F's there, all in a row, nice and useful for us to be able to see them. And let's see if we can take this going across again. We'll go back to a B again. And we can see this B here is at the 9th fret. 9 minus 5 is 4. Do I need to count down? No. Because I don't want to be counting up and down frets because some people think, is that including or is that excluding that fret? Is it by counting 1, 2, 3, 4 and then that puts you on the wrong one? So what we do is we just do it as a number. So 9 minus 5 equals 4. You can see that puts us on the B note there. Now let me just show you something here that's interesting. If we look at the B here, we can see because we're at the 4th fret, we've got something going on when we switch between the G to the B string, and it's all down to the way the guitar is tuned. If we think about the way the guitar is tuned, E to A, that is a perfect 4th, A to D is a perfect 4th, D to G is a perfect 4th. But G to B is a major 3rd. So we have to modify our -5 trick when we go from G to B. So G to B, it becomes -4. So that's what we have to do. Instead of going -5 from G to B, we go -4. So let me just show you that. If we're on fret 4 and we count down, so 4 minus 4 equals 0, puts us on the 0th fret, which is the open B there. You can see, but effectively I'm using this and I'm being able to find all these B's everywhere on the fretboard. Now, when we go from B to E again, we go back to being on a perfect 4th then. So the whole routine starts again. Let me just try that F here because we were doing these B's and F's. So I quite enjoyed doing those. There's the F. Remember, this is on the 10th fret, but because I'm going from the G to the B string, where that wonk is in the tuning, I have to subtract 4. So 10 subtract 4 gives me 6. Hang on, that puts me in the exact same place to be able to find my note there. What I'm going to do is just to get back on track here, I've got a B here at the 12th fret. And just to notice this, let me get a marker and I'll just show you. Hope you want to see this, guys, because it's really useful. Because once you learn this on the first 12 frets, it applies all the way over the neck. And you can see that we get the same way that we would memorize our string names, elephants and donkeys grow big ears, or Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. That's the same as the open fret there. So we can see right at the head note, we get the same thing. Now, like I said before, when we cross over from B to an E, we get back to that perfect fourth tuning. So essentially, when it's a perfect fourth, then we get the -5. When it's G to B, which is a major third, then we subtract 4. If we go from this B here, we can see this is at the 12th fret. 12 minus 5 equals 7. So we just do the mathematical equation, pop that down there, and you can see I've got my other B. And you can see how these guys just move along. I'll just get another little colour with this one just to show you. And you can see that if I go from B to B here, that's lovely. You can see going from the F here, that's -5. We're subtracting 5 there. And I'm just going to do this because it's got the same colour. I'm going subtracting 5 there. And let's change this colour over. It just changes when we cross over that awkward kink in the tuning there. And that's a way of finding the note as you go across from a thicker string to a thinner string. So that's the thing to get, guys. It's always going this way. So we're going across from thick to thin on the strings. Now, the thing that I mentioned at the beginning was that this was also part of a double pack, if you will. We can also get the +7 method. And this is another useful way to do this. And if you do the -5 and the +7, then you have a kind of complete little way of being able to find these notes. There are lots of other ways to find the notes. You should check out my caged octaves method, because I think that's a rather useful one as well. The thing to note, and why I put this little meridian here as well, is subtracting 5 from 4 doesn't work. And this is the caveat with this method. If we're at the fret 4 here and I said this is a C sharp and we subtracted 5 from 4, we would end up in -1 frets, and we don't have those. And that's where this falls apart a little bit. You just got to be aware of that. But anything above the 4th fret, you're going to be able to find that easily anyhow. So I'm going to go over onto this next fretboard. And remember, we still got this same way of tuning. So now we can look at this from a different perspective. We've got an F here at the 1st fret. Now, I want to find this on the next string. We're still going in this manner across like this. But now, when I go up here, this is going to be an octave higher is this note. And it's worth noting, if you pardon the pun, that this note and this note will sound the same frequency. The timbre will change because the E string is obviously thicker than the A string. And the thicker the string, the more woollier sound and the more woodener sound you're going to get. And the thinner the string, the brighter it's going to be. Whereas when we do this method, what happens is we get a low note and then we jump up an octave. Now, all I have to do with this is, because it's a +7, is add 7 to the fret that I'm on. Whereas this one was -5 from the fret you were on, and you go down towards the head note, we are moving up the neck towards the body of the guitar. So if we go from the F, add 7, that's going to put us on fret 8. And you can see here at fret 8, let me just write that in there, we get the F again. That's a really useful way of finding that octave, but in a way that you can use it meaningfully on the next string. Let's do the B note. So we're going to go up 7 on this one as well, because we're still in perfect fourths. The rules haven't changed. So at the 2nd fret, add 7. It's going to put us on 9. I don't need to think too hard about where to go with this, because the maths that we have to do, or should I say the math that we have to do, is super simple, super basic. Right, let's go here from the F on this D to G string. And because we're going over to the D to the G string, we know the rule hasn't changed at all. I'll just put that there on the perfect fourth. from the fret that you want. So we know at the 3rd fret, that means that we have to add 7, which puts us on fret 10. That's a nice, easy mathematical equation we can do in our heads. Now, here's where we have to be careful, guys. Look at where we're at. If I want to take this B here that's at the 4th fret, and now we have this kink in the tuning on the G to the B, and that's the major 3rd again. Instead of +7, I have to add 8. That's all I need to remember. There's just a little adjustment there for that compensation. Just like we compensated when we went from the G to B, when we were doing the -5 method, when we do the +7 method, we do that compensation again. We're going to go from the 4th fret here. 4 and 8, that gives us 12. So I just look to the 12th fret and lo and behold, I can see that I get my B note yet again there. Lovely, nice and easy for me to find there. Then guess what happens? We've done what we needed to do between the G to the B, but between the B and the E, we need to go back to the +7 method. So let's look at this F here, because we were doing FB, FB, and you can see I'm at the 6th fret. 6 + 7 gives us 13. We just put it there, and look, I can see where it's going to live on that next fret there. Let me put some colours in. Do we need our meridian again? No, we don't need our meridian, because we only need that on the -5 one. So you can see here, guys, there is 2 ways you can find the same notes. If you want it an octave higher, then this is a cool way to find it on the next string, because we're moving along. If you want to find it at the same pitch, then we use the -5 method. So that's the mathematical side of understanding how to find notes on the guitar neck. You can now find the same note across the strings much more quickly without guessing. But there's a bigger layer to this, because the neck also has different patterns and string relationships that make everything feel completely connected. And that's what I want to show you in this next video here.